Southern Fried Sports. Let's get fried real quick. And good evening. Happy game day, ladies and gentlemen. It is your man, JD Wyatt, the Southern Fried Gentleman of Southern Fried Sports, coming to you live for a game day reaction of what we've seen so far. And let me go ahead and start out with this. Again, I'm a Gamecock fan, all right? That was the most malicious and vengeful tackle I've ever seen made against a human being. And I've seen some very bone crushing, pad cracking tackles before. But the one that I just saw against A&M, against Maceo Bennett, my dude literally had him by the helmet, twisted his neck, slammed him over his knee, and then kicked him in the face when he got up. No flag. Shane Beamer had to burn a timeout to avoid a 10-second runoff if an offensive player would have been injured there, not to mention the new fine that he would have gotten because of Lane Kiffin and Ole Miss faking injuries. So he might have even gotten a fine in that situation, even though, like I said, that was the most malicious tackle that I've ever seen in my life. It was brutal. Maceo Bennett was clearly struggling coming off the sideline. His neck was twisted. He got slammed down. His head hit the ground. Listen, Gamecock fans, you played a very good first half. You got up 14-0. Well, excuse me, first quarter. You played a good first quarter. You got up 14-0. And then lo and behold, Shane Beamer decides to play stupid games and win stupid prizes. He got actually bailed out on the previous kickoff where the Texas A&M player called for a fair catch. If that ball would have hit the ground, it probably would have went out of bounds as well. And then Kai Kroger comes in inexplicably, just like Robbie Ashford comes in inexplicably, just like we try to block a punt inexplicably. Stop trying to outsmart yourself, Shane Beamer. Man, sometimes, listen, you can't just line up, and I'm not saying just line up and go toe-to-toe, but there's a way to be creative without being over-aggressive, and sometimes I think you're a little over-aggressive. Listen, y'all, Marcel Reed of Texas A&M, if the Gamecocks cannot learn to rush with some lane discipline here in the second half, Marcel Reed is about to look like Lamar Jackson. Okay? It's as simple as that. If we cannot rush him and somehow contain him at the same time, we can't have two people shooting behind him trying to chase him forward. Same thing for Lenore Sellers. But A&M has already adapted. The Gamecocks have not. So hopefully coming out of this second half, the Gamecocks can adapt. Hopefully the Gamecocks can get themselves in order. I said it was going to be 20-17. We were able to manage that 3 points. So, hey, 20-20. But just calm down on the over-aggressiveness, all right? Just let's line up. Let's play football. Let's do the best we can. And also, referees, do better. Y'all should have taken the time out there to look at that tackle on Maceo Bennett. That one got me a bit fired up. Maceo Bennett, man, I hope you're all right. I hope to see you in the second half. But my dude, twisting your neck and everything like that, man, what a brutal, malicious tackle that was. Sellers and Rocket, though, they have looked as nimble and as healthy as I have seen them look. We can make some noise here in the second half. I do have faith. Sellers, you got to bring your heart rate down a little bit, okay? Sellers, your heart rate's up here. You got to bring it down a little bit. You're throwing the ball a little bit too hard now. I know there's certain cases where you got to rifle it in, and there's certain cases where you got to put a little loft on it. But just slow your heart rate down a little bit, all right? Breathe. You're a freshman in a big-time matchup. Speaking of big-time matchups, the Gamecocks have lost 9 games in a row against ranked opponents. Our last win was Clemson. Speaking of Clemson, they're in a dogfight right now. Down 17-7 to Louisville. They have not got out to that quick start. Louisville, apparently the refs are helping them out a little bit. I'll let Miss Susan Lloyd, Parker's Tiger, she'll have some still frames coming up of some pass interference on TJ Moore very soon. But Clemson also struggling right now. So, hey, Gamecock Nation, Tiger Nation, South Carolina Nation, I am here to unify the fans. I am the Southern Fried Gentleman of Southern Fried Sports. Y'all, let's come together and let's get these victories. All right? Let's get these wins. Man, we need them. Y'all need them. We need them. Everybody need a win. Speaking of teams that didn't get wins, though, how about Penn State? James Franklin is 1-10 against Ohio State. Do you know how many times he's had a lead in those games? 7. 3 out of those 7 leads have been double-digit leads. And he's lost almost every one. James Franklin, bro, are you a Connor Stallions for Ohio State? Because you can't seem to beat them. The last time you beat them was 2016. At this point, your seat has to be a little bit warm in the new Big Ten, where you have Oregon, who beat Michigan today. Handily, Michigan is not going to be who they were without Jim Harbaugh. I've said that before. I'll say it again. Jim Harbaugh made Michigan who they were, cheating or not, national champion. But Michigan is going way downhill. You had North Carolina State beat Stanford today. You had Syracuse come back and beat Virginia Tech today. You also had my upset pick of the week, Duke, Miami. Man, into the first half, I felt really, really good about it. Like, really good. I was feeling really good. Duke was up 7 points. They ended up not even covering the 20-point spread. Oh, man. Miami Hurricanes, Clemson Tigers, Pittsburgh, SMU are battling it out. We're going to find out who the best team in the ACC is very soon, and I'm very curious to see. Is it Pitt? Is it SMU? Is it Miami? Is it Clemson? We still have a ways to go in this season yet. How about a South Carolina Gamecock transfer? Mario Anderson Jr. playing for Memphis. He's having a great season. I would have loved to have kept him here at South Carolina, but we were unable to do so. But he had a fantastic play today. A pass was bounced off of 2 players. Mario Anderson caught the ball, scored a touchdown. Man, I wish that guy was still a Gamecock. Golly. But y'all, that's the dirtiest tackle I've ever seen against Mazeo Bennett. What a day of college football we've had. This is just JD's game day reaction. Southern Fried Sports. Don't forget GreenvilleSportsMedia.com. Don't forget TheFurmanJoust.com. Don't forget Dubby Energy Drinks. JD672 is the promo code. And here's what I'm going to say for later. Vanderbilt is having the magical season that the Gamecocks wish we could have. So, with all that said, let's go watch the second half of these games. Y'all be blessed, not stressed. Y'all be kind to one another, dang it. And I will see you.